When my ex-wife, Vanessa, told me she needed long-term psychiatric treatment, I didn't hesitate to support her. She sat across from me at the kitchen table, hands trembling around a cup of untouched tea. "I can't keep pretending I'm okay," she whispered. "I think I'm losing myself." I remember reaching for her hand immediately. "You don't have to go through this alone." At the time, I meant every word. We had been married for 8 years. Things weren't perfect, but I believed we were solid. We survived layoffs, miscarriages, debt, and years of stress. So when she said she was mentally exhausted and needed professional help, I saw it as another storm we would survive together. A week later, she told me she had found a private mental health facility 2 hours away. She claimed it specialized in trauma recovery and long-term treatment. "There's one rule," she explained carefully. "Very limited contact with family during recovery." That should have been my first warning. But love makes you ignore things logic would never accept. I drove her there myself. Or at least, I thought I did. The building looked legitimate from the outside. Modern, quiet, professional. She kissed me goodbye in the parking lot with tears in her eyes. "I love you," she said. Then she walked through those glass doors and disappeared from my life. For the next 3 months, I became the perfect supportive husband. I paid all the bills alone. I answered concerned calls from family. I reassured her mother constantly. "She's healing," I'd say. "The doctors say recovery takes time." Vanessa rarely called me directly. Most communication came through texts. Short messages. "I'm improving." Therapy was hard today. "I miss home." Sometimes she'd disappear for days, claiming patients weren't allowed phone access. Meanwhile, I was drowning. I worked overtime to cover expenses while trying to hold myself together emotionally. Every night, I stared at our wedding photo wondering if the woman smiling beside me would ever come back. Then one evening, everything changed. It started with something stupid. Her sister called me crying because Vanessa hadn't answered for over a week. "She wouldn't ignore me this long," she said. "Something feels wrong." For the first time, doubt entered my mind. So the next morning, I drove to the facility unannounced. The moment I walked into reception, my stomach tightened. The receptionist smiled politely. "How can I help you?" "I'm here to see my wife, Vanessa Harper." She typed for a few seconds, then frowned. "I'm sorry, sir. We don't have a patient here by that name." I laughed nervously. There must be a mistake. She's been admitted for months. The receptionist checked again. Nothing. That's when the room started spinning. I showed her a photo of Vanessa. The receptionist shook her head slowly. "I've never seen this woman before." I walked back to my car in complete silence. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely unlock the door. At first, I convinced myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe she used a different name. Maybe the facility protected identities. Maybe. But deep down, I already knew. That night, I logged into our shared phone account for the first time in years. And there it was. Hundreds of calls to one number. Daily calls. Late night calls. Hours long. I copied the number and searched it online. The name attached to it was a man named Eric Dalton. The same Eric she once told me not to worry about from her old job. I felt physically sick. But the final blow came 2 days later. One of Vanessa's friends accidentally posted Instagram photos from a beach house birthday party. There she was. Laughing. Drinking wine. Wrapped around Eric like I had never existed. Timestamped during the exact week she told me she was undergoing intensive treatment. I stared at the screen for almost an hour. No tears. No anger. Just emptiness. My wife hadn't gone away to heal herself. She had simply replaced me. The mental health story was just the perfect cover because nobody questions a person claiming emotional breakdown. People offer sympathy instead of suspicion. And she used that. She used my love, my trust, and my compassion to secretly live with another man while I financed the life she abandoned. When I confronted her, she didn't even deny it. She looked exhausted more than guilty. "I didn't know how to leave you," she admitted quietly. That sentence haunted me more than the affair itself. Because it revealed the truth. She had emotionally left long before she physically disappeared. The fake hospital. The fake treatment. The fake tears. All of it was easier to her than simply telling me the marriage was over. Our divorce was finalized 8 months later. I wish I could say I recovered quickly. I didn't. For a long time, I questioned every memory we shared. Every "I love you." Every hug. Every promise. But eventually, I realized something important. Her deception was not a reflection of my worth. It was a reflection of her character. And sometimes the cruelest betrayals come from the people who know exactly how to earn your trust first. Now when people ask me what the hardest part was, I don't say the cheating. It was realizing that while I was fighting to save our marriage, I was the only one still in it.
If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more.